Introduce yourself, dear.
Hi, I'm Vergus. Vergus Mason.
Yes, Vargas Mason. It's me, it's Courtney. I'm back. Yes, but I wanted to just talk, Vargas. Like, we are doing this show. Emily is producing this show called Wake-up Becky.
Okay.
And we know the Becky is the white girl.
Right.
So we trying to wake her up. But I think it's very unique that she has this show that is specifically trying to address us dealing with racism.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how you feel about that? Or what can you say?
Well, I don't know. I think as an entertainer, I think we all address that at some point, don't we? I mean, just being yourself, I think is very hard. I think historically, Bill Cosby's kind of success was a lot of him never talking about anything.
Right.
Kind of until he got in trouble. But, you know, but in general, it's just like, you know, it was almost an era of time. It's like if you wanted to be successful, you don't talk. But you also have like the legends of history, like Dick Gregory, who talked about it from Jump Street, you know. And so at some point, you know, I feel like if Richard Pryor, you know, and the most famous line I think Richard ever have. Do you ever remember that one? He's talking about shooting his car, his wife's car. He's mad at her. And immediately, like, the cops show up and he dropped the gun. And he's like, because they don't shoot cars, they shoot niggers, right? Audience.
Wow, yes, erupts.
You know,
and probably an all-white audience, right?
Well, yeah. You know, you got how mainstream he was, how accepted he was. Right. He was the first to actually say it. So, like that. Yeah. You know.
People wanted to tiptoe around it.
Right. And so, I mean, I think if that's part of your voice, but if you're just being real, you eventually talk about it at some point. It kind of comes.
It has to come up because it comes up so much for us. I feel like, you know, and we're in a day and time where, especially now, we have to talk about it. So I think it's just.
Well, I can tell you my experience. I work on ships a lot, cruise ships, and so. And when I first started working on them, I was literally like, a lot of comedians aspire to get that work. It's good money. You travel in the world. You're usually working with another comic. The comic before me, this is near when Barack got elected. And the comic before me called Barack a monkey. Yes. Right? Now this was a ship out of Galveston, Texas.
Honey, and we on a ship.
You know, and that's a red state.
Galveston.
Yes, and they were like, whoo, ha, ha, laughing, having a good old time. And I was just like, and I remember, like, I have a set that's specifically a little bit political. Okay. And in my mind, I was like, don't tell those jokes. Okay. This is obviously not your crowd. Yes. Feed your family. Oh. You know, got baby in ballet school and lessons and things that are expensive. Just keep making that money. But when it came time for me to perform, the gremlin in the back of my neck, the gremlin like grabbed me, and the gremlin was like, do your jokes, do those jokes.
You better talk about it.
Right? And the joke I specifically do is about Barack, and it's actually all about the N-word. It's a whole bit about the N-word. And I actually say in the bit, the premise is, I'm explaining my little girl the N-word. And so and for example, she's like, is Oprah Winfrey an N-word? I'm like, baby, once you start making money, you just stop being an N-word altogether. That's one of the punchlines.
That's one of them.
And she said, but there's a point we get to Barack, and she's like, is Barack Obama N-word? And I say, baby, okay, look, he's not, don't ever say Barack Obama's an N-word, but here's the thing, there are people who'd like to call him that, but they can't say that without losing their job. So instead, they'll say that he's a Muslim or he can't find his birth certificate. And I stare straight into the audience and I say that. It is not a joke you say on a cruise ship. And it was the strangest thing. And out of Galveston, Texas, but I had to say it. I had to get it off my chest. And the strangest thing was everybody who ate it when the guy called him a monkey was like, and rose to their feet and were like, room. And then what was funny was all these red state Galveston crowd, they were like, touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Respect, man.
Right. And 9 out of 10 times, you're better off just following your gut, following your heart, being honest, being real, keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to keep it 100.
We're going to do that, right?
Yes. Love you, Vargas. He's hilarious.
Trying.
We'll do follow all of that. But yes, thank you, Vergus. Kill it.
Thank you.